Hatha, getting situated. I like to come on a little early to get a little situated here so that everything looks decent, all those decently looking things. So, as I do that and get situated, feel free to, if you choose, grab your yoga mat, grab some blocks or a pillow, and yeah, then we will do the thing. So, this is evening Hatha for renewal. And the first thing that pops into my head is how do we have an evening Hatha class that also is for renewal? Usually those are like energizing morning classes, and this one being in the evening is makes it a little something, something special, So we're gonna get into that though. Just take this last little second to get situated, and then we will just go ahead and get started. So do 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 do. Do, 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 do. All right, so go ahead and let's see, we got a couple more minutes. So yeah, go ahead, grab any props, grab blocks, grab a strap, blankets, pillows if you'd like, especially if you don't have blocks today, then a pillow is a nice substitute for this evening Hatha class. This is a 45-minute class, so I'm gonna wait one more second as everyone gets their things. You can also do this practice adaptive in a seat or on a bed if you choose. Just adapt as needed and then reach out with any questions if you have any. Um, I'm gonna pull up the first part of our practice today. Because we're gonna start, whoops, I'm causing messes over here. We're gonna start with a breathing exercise today to welcome that renewal. As soon as I stop destroying everything. All right. Fun part about being live, right? Okay. So when I mentioned, talking about evening hatha, hatha yoga, we use a lot of the same asanas or poses that we would in a vinyasa class. We're kind of aligning and balancing out the body though a little bit differently. So with hatha yoga, we're not always going possibly through this pattern of sorts. Like with vinyasa, you start with your sun salutation to warm up, then you move into more progressed or advanced poses that take your sun salutation kind of to a deeper level, and you want to balance out through sun salutation and working on the right side of the body, and then sun salutation and working on the left side of the body. With hatha yoga, we don't really have to do that. We just kind of will mimic side to side as we go. And so with that, and before we dive into that, we're just going to welcome a nostril breathing and alternative breathing to set yourself up. So maybe now you're in your seat or you find yourself on your mat in a comfortable seated position, whether it be in Sukhasana or a half lotus or a full lotus or just feet connected to floor. Go ahead and get kind of cozy in your space, in your place, and start to welcome awareness to your breathing. And you can complete this exercise that we're starting with a hazy gaze or closed eyes to really allow your attention to be on your breath. And alternative breathing or nostril breathing is a way to warm up and heat the body and also cleanse the body. So we're thinking about letting go of winter, letting go of the cold, the dead, and welcoming this new warmth into our space, our bodies, and our souls as we move into warmer climates and seasons. So with the alternative breathing, we're going to start and close your eyes, and you're going to take your thumb and place it over your right nostril, which might look reversed to me since I'm using front face camera. That's all right. Take the right thumb over your right nostril, and you can close those eyes, and you're going to inhale slowly and exhale slowly through your left nostril. So just take a moment to kind of get that feeling going. And you're breathing, inhaling, exhaling out of your left nostril as your right thumb is keeping the right nostril closed. And then when you're ready, you'll go ahead and you'll switch. You're going to jump down to your ring finger. So we're going to skip over the pointer and middle finger. We're going to jump over to the ring finger. We're going to use the ring finger to now close the left nostril, and it's going to open up the right nostril, and you're going to complete the same thing. So you're going to go ahead and take a nice inhale deep through the right nostril, and then that left or that right nostril exhale. And just try that out a few more, maybe through the right side, inhaling and exhaling through the right nostril, keeping that left nostril closed. And gently release. Take a nice deep inhale through both nostrils being open, and deep exhale through both nostrils. Now you might need some tissue. What we're going to do is going to alternate, so between the two. So you're going to take your time, go with your breathing, and I will mind the time here as you do this and set your own pace and time. You'll take that thumb to start again when you're ready, inhaling and exhaling once through the left side of the nostrils, the right is closed. After that exhale, take a moment to switch, take that ring finger over to the left. Now your right nostril is closed, and repeat. And continue to do that. I would say about 4 or 5 more times as you're welcoming this heat into the lungs. It's going to get us ready for our practice. And cleanse the body. Take about 3 or so more if you haven't done so already. This also will regulate your nervous system. So, stress activates your nervous system. And so, this allows you to kind of come into that body again and kind of relieve your body of that stress. So, it can help rest and repair the state of your nervous system by allowing a relaxation response through your breathing. It can lower your blood pressure, it improves your breathing, and can lower fear and anxiety. So, being mindful as you complete that practice, finding your last breath or so. And when you finish with that fifth round, go ahead and inhale, exhale out of maybe your left nostril or your right, whichever one you're finding in your last round. Then welcome both nostrils to be open once again. Take a deep breath in. Hold it, filling up the body. And then when you're ready, exhale, release. Now, maybe if your eyes are closed, you'll go ahead and gently open them or allow a hazy gaze. Or if you'd like to flow with closed eyes, by all means, go ahead and do so. So I've made my way to the mat. We're going to just kind of get connected here. As I mentioned earlier, if you have your blocks, we're going to need those in a bit. We're going to connect back to those lungs, back to that breath after we get a little warm up and stretch in. So just being mindful and still moving and grooving through that breath. You can stay in a pose as long as you like, or you can release out of a pose sooner if that is asking to be done from your body. We're going to go ahead and allow a side stretch. So you're going to take one arm and extend it out, aligning with the shoulder, inhaling, exhaling, then lift it and raise it up overhead. And side stretch with that arm, aligning with the side body. Fingers are pulling over to the opposite side. You have this nice little curvature on that side of the body. And release. We're going to repeat that. Inhaling, exhaling, breathing. Welcome that side stretch. You could be seated in Sukhasana or you can be seated on your shins like I am doing. It's up to you. We'll release and repeat one more on this side. Feel the stretch in the body. Release. We're going to take all of that to the opposite side. Align your body back to center. Then when ready, inhale, exhale. The opposite arm up and overhead, aligning with the ear. And release. And repeat. And release. And repeat one more time, that arm overhead. Feel that stretch through the side body. And release. We're going to take a moment to find some shoulder rolls. So go ahead and take some shoulder rolls towards the back. And then take some shoulder rolls towards the front. Find stillness in the shoulders for a moment. Then we're going to take some kind of nice shoulders raising up to the ears, some shoulder raises, I guess is the word I'm thinking of. And then we'll drop them back down just to welcome awareness in those upper chakras. So with cleansing that system as we breathe. So when you're ready, breathe and inhale and exhale. Keep those shoulders up towards the ears and breathe. Maybe you start to align with your spine. You feel the belly button pulling into the back body. Take another breath. And as you release, deep exhale, the shoulders fall away from the ears. Hands connect to sides of mat or fingertips connect to the sides of mat. You're going to allow those shoulders to stay low away from the ears. You're going to lengthen through the spine and take 3 breaths. And then at your own pace and time, you're just going to raise the shoulders up towards the ears and then allow them to fall gently back away from the ears. And then just continue that pattern just a few more times. It's going to wake up that energy, that Kundalini energy in the spine, that awareness on breath. As we shrug the shoulders up and down. Find that last shrug and release. Take a breath. Now we're going to go ahead, we're going to choose a hand to keep it connected down to mat, and we're going to extend and lengthen a little bit more on our side stretch. So we're going to go ahead and that arm's going to move a few inches away. We're going to lift up the tail. We're going to come onto that same inside leg, and we're going to extend and lengthen the top leg away. Top arm is going to lengthen and extend. Maybe the vision connects with the arm overhead. And then you'll bring it back down to center, release. Now we're going to pay attention to that side once again and repeat, but you'll have the option to lift up that top leg. So find that connection with your bottom arm and mat, same side. Top arm is going to extend and lengthen. That leg's going to lengthen and stretch also. Connect with that arm, aligning underneath the shoulder. Maybe the fingers are spread apart. Find your breath. Now option, if you choose, to raise that top leg, flexing the toes forward, then lower it and release. Take a moment to connect with your breath. That blood flow wants to make its way back into body. We're going to go ahead and take that to the opposite side. So we'll go ahead and first connect that arm a few inches away from body. And you're going to lift, extend that leg away. And when you're ready, that arm is going to extend and lengthen. The vision can follow. Stretch, those fingertips are pointing away, the toes are pointing away possibly. And then welcome yourself back to center. Connect, find your breath. Then when ready, you're going to find that round two. That arm will connect once again. You're going to extend and lengthen the top limbs away from one another that vision can follow, or you can focus on having your vision forward. That bottom arm is connected underneath the shoulder. Option to lift that leg, flex the toes forward. And release. Return to center. Go ahead and take a moment. Then when ready, we're going to go ahead and allow our feet to fall out to one side. We're going to allow the knees to come in front of chest for just a moment. The hands will be behind us, and we'll find some windshield wipers here. Just to allow a little new awareness into the spine, into the hips and waist. Then you'll welcome the knees to center. We're going to go ahead and extend the legs out away from one another. Make any adjustments to your body to support yourself for our next pose as you choose. And we're going to start with a seated staff pose. So just bring awareness to the hands coming to the sides once again. Palms and fingers will be kind of connected this time. You're going to press the palms into the mat. That might lift the tail off the mat just a smidgen. Toes are going to flex up towards the ceiling and sky. Vision will be forward. And release. Allow those shoulders to soften. You're going to find a seated forward fold. So maybe now you welcome a little bend into the knees if you need, or take whatever you need to support your body. And you're going to breathe, and the hands are going to make their way down to shin, ankle, or over the toes, depending on where you are with your practice today. So take your time. We're going to be here. Extended breath, extended breathing, about 5 to 7 breaths, so you really get time to allow the upper body to relax over the lower body and lengthen, being mindful of the shoulders and the spine. So if you feel kind of some sort of way about anything, you're always welcome to reset and readjust and then refall forward. So take your time. You probably got about 4 or so more breaths to go. Find those last breaths in your forward fold. This is one of those stretches where if you have a partner, they could support you in this practice by allowing a little gentle assistance as you fold forward. Find that last breath. Then when ready, you'll gently roll up the spine. And we're going to go ahead and allow a seated Bandha Konasana. So we're going to find a diamond shape in the lower body. Nice little hip opener here. Hands can lay over the thighs, or they can mimic the legs. And you'll connect with that breath. Bottoms of feet connected or facing one another. Inhale, exhale, Baddha Konasana. You also have the option to take a forward fold here too. Or you also have the option to use your hands to allow the hips to open a little more, putting a little pressure to press the thighs or legs out just a smidgen. You could use support of the wall or blocks too. So you have these options. Find your Baddha Konasana. Find another breath. If you took the forward fold with this pose, you're more than welcome to think about extending and lengthening. Then when you're ready, you'll gently rise, rolling up the spine. We're going to go ahead and allow the knees to return back to center using the support of your arms. Allow them to kind of make their way back close to chest. And then you're going to go ahead and allow one leg to lengthen away. You're going to keep one close. So I'm extending my left leg and I'm keeping my right leg nice and close so that I can take my left hand now and grab the bottom over my right toes or at the side of the foot, or maybe I'm going for the ankle. Depending on when you extend, you might change support. Then I'm going to lift with a bent knee nice and high. And then I'm going to take my other hand and grab the other side of the foot and hold here, this awareness with the spine, this awareness with my chest and my knees, and coming in close, that awareness to breath. And I'm lengthening, the crown is reaching towards the ceiling and sky. I'm going to flex the extended leg toes towards the ceiling and sky. And then when ready, I'm going to gently allow the outside hand to make its way in a spinal twist, and I'm going to extend and lengthen the leg that I'm still connected to. A gentle balancing pose here. Then I may bring it back to center and repeat on the opposite side. So now I'm going to extend and lengthen. So for me, that's my right leg. Left foot comes in close to chest. I'm going to go ahead and lift it up, welcoming it close. Opposite hand also wraps around, almost like a gentle shoot the duck, which is what we would use when I took ice skating. So I'm sure there are other names of this pose out there somewhere. Something a little more friendly, I presume, but that's what we called it in ice skating. So that's what comes to mind. So we're going to go ahead and allow that extended inside arm to allow to assist the leg as it's going to extend, as my outside arm is going to twist. Our gentle balancing pose, a little massage on those internal organs. And then bring it back. Allow that foot to rest and find the floor. Shake anything out that you need. Maybe the arms need a little shake. And then you're going to go ahead and allow the feet to flow out to one side. Hands are going to come towards the top of your mat. Knees are going to go behind you. You're going to find yourself in a tabletop. And then you're just going to go right in from your tabletop to a gentle downward dog. So you have options. You could find a low dog where you have the knees bent and the tail is low. And then we're gonna just maybe stay there and pedal out the feet. Or you have the option to find your full downward dog, engaging that core, lengthening the body, walking the feet or stretching the calves. Hands are out towards the top of the mat a bit. Fingers are spread apart, palms pressing into mat. Find your breath. And then you're going to gently and slowly walk the feet to the hands. The hands maybe come towards the feet. You're going to find yourself at the center of the mat in a Uttanasana, forward fold. And enjoy your time in your forward fold. Your head is inverted. You find a ragdoll. Maybe your hands wrap around the calves and you welcome your upper body closer to the lower body. It's up to you. Take what you need, then welcome stillness to your Uttanasana. And when ready, halfway lift. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Uttanasana. Bend the knees and roll up the spine to standing. We're going to take a Tadasana, a mountain pose. So find yourself standing at the top of your mat. Make sure I'm watching the time there. The palms are facing forward, the hands are soft, the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to find that connection of the feet connected to mat on all four sides. Then when ready, we're going to inhale the arms out their sides, raise them up to ceiling and sky. Exhale, forward fold. Take what you need once again in your forward fold. Make any adjustments to the body. Welcome that stillness for a moment. Then when ready, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Then inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, unravel the spine. Take your time, no rush, no worry. You're going to roll up, find standing. You're going to creep those arms through the center, raise them up to ceiling and sky. You're going to exhale into chair pose. Find your chair pose. The hands can find prayer mudra, Anjali mudra to heart. Option to take a twist towards the right if you choose. Option to open the arms. Bring it back. We're going to welcome ourselves back to center. We're going to release. We're going to find that we're going to unravel the body, leaving our chair. Our right leg is going to lift and make its way towards the top of the mat. Left foot's going to make its way towards the back. We're going to find ourselves in a warrior two. So warrior two pose. Align the arms. Check in with the feet. Sometimes it's nice to check in with that back arm too. So we may take a gander back there. And we're going to find a warrior one. We're going to pass that back arm. That back leg might go into a high lunge. And the arms are going to make their way towards ceiling and sky. And take it back through. Find that warrior two once again. And a crescent or reverse warrior. And a warrior two. We're going to find a little triangle pose. So we're going to go ahead and straighten out that front leg. Arms are going to move forward, kind of that right arm leading the way, so the hips and waist are leaning in forward too. Then option two, if you have a block nearby, you could grab it and use it if you choose. You're going to go ahead and take that right arm down towards the shin or ankle or foot or floor or the block. And that back arm is going to make its way towards ceiling and sky. And warrior two. And we're going to go ahead and release the arms. They're going to make their way to waist. We're going to unbend that right knee once again. And that back foot is going to turn in. And we're going to turn into our opposite direction. So now we're facing towards the back of our mat, so to speak. We're going to find the left side of our body is now front. You could always move that block if you need. And then rest in that warrior two once again. We're going to find that warrior one or that high lunge. That back leg might turn. You're going to take that back arm to ceiling and sky to match with the left. Connect with breath, then back to warrior two. Maybe take a gander at that back arm, see if it's level. The eyes will want to go down the line towards that middle finger, the middle nail. Then we'll find that reverse warrior or crescent moon. And take it back to two. We're going to find that triangle on the opposite side. Now we're going to straighten out that front leg. That front arm is going to make its way down to shin, heel, floor, or block. And the back arm is going to reach towards ceiling and sky. And return to your warrior two. Going to go ahead and straighten that front leg again, unbending that knee. This time, both feet are going to go ahead and make their way forward. The hands can come to hips. We're going to find a wide leg forward fold. So you can take your time, connect with your feet. If your feet, you find a little bit discomfort with them facing forward, you could always have the toes pointed out a bit towards either side like they would in starfish pose, hands on hips. And then you'll forward fold. That tail is going to move back. Vision will make its way to floor. And as you're finding your wide leg forward fold, you may find that block once again. And you may then adjust your body. And maybe the top or crown of your head connects with that yoga block. Adjust it as needed. And you could take your hands out to either side of foot. Or maybe you choose not to have the block. and you prefer to have your hands passing through underneath the body, fingertips reaching towards the back of the mat, stretching. The prop just keeps it a little bit more gentle. And then when ready, the hands will come forward underneath the head. You might want to bring the feet, kind of heel toe them in a little bit closer. We're going to halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Then halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. One last round. Halfway lift. Hold in your halfway lift. Hands will come back to hips and slowly rise. And then you'll just heel toe at your own pace and time. Those feet back to center. And we'll go ahead and gently turn back towards the top of our mat. You can walk or kind of shake anything out that you need or that your body is requesting. We're going to scoop those arms through center, make their way up to ceiling and sky. Take a baby back bend if you choose. Anjali Mudra passes through, forward fold. So you're going to find yourself in your Uttanasana once again. You may notice some differences now than when you did your first round of Uttanasana. Find your stillness in your Uttanasana, and when ready, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. One more time, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, you're going to forward fold into that Uttanasana, then welcome a bending in the knees. You're going to gently roll up the spine, passing through standing once again. You're going to creep those arms through center, make their way to ceiling and sky. Inhale, stretch and lengthen. Exhale, chair pose once again. Anjali Mudra, prayer hands to heart. Option to take a twist towards the opposite direction. So if you went right earlier with me, maybe now you're going to go to the left. Going to go ahead and gently return to center. Both hands are going to make their way towards the floor. Going to Uttanasana once again. Find that stretch. Then hands are going to make their way, connecting palms, connect with the mat, possibly our fingertips. You're going to just start to scooch the feet back behind you. Take your time, and eventually you'll make your way into your downward dog once again, or your low dog, just depending on where you're at in your practice. Find a stretch, pedal the feet, wag the tail, take some cleansing breaths. And then welcome stillness for just a moment. Then we'll gently make our way down to all fours. And you'll welcome a Balasana into your practice. So make your way, find your Balasana or your child's pose, where you can have the knees aligned underneath the hips, or you can take those knees mat width apart. It's up to you. You'll find a restful Balasana, so the arms can just kind of softly be towards the top of the mat. Maybe your forehead connects to mat, or maybe you have forearm on top of forearm and your forehead on top of forearm, or a block. It's up to you. And find about 5 to 7 cleansing breaths in your Balasana. You've done wonderful today. You took the time to be here and make time for practice. Just enjoy the moment of rest, breathing, moving through the body, connecting with your breath, your soul cleanse, every exhalation. Maybe you're finding those last 3 or 4 breaths. Find that last breath or so in your Balasana, and when you're ready to release, you'll slowly rise. So the hands will creep in towards the body. Your chest will lift. Maybe the knees are met width apart. You're going to go ahead and take them underneath the hips, and then you could use your fingertips for support. You're going to allow the feet to fall out to one side, and they're going to make their way towards the top of the mat like they did in the beginning. And if you have your blocks, you might want to grab those again. So shake out anything that you need. If your toes need some wiggles or the legs just need some movement for a bit, go ahead and do that. And then we're gonna do something that you might find in a restorative yoga class, which is a yoga class that uses a lot of props, of straps and blankets and pillows and different props and blocks and bolsters to help support your body to gently open. So going back to that breath work at the beginning, we've heated up the body. Now we've got those movements and added additional heat to welcome the cleansing and warmth and renewal for spring through a gentle practice, unless you took it a little bit deeper and intense as my body chose to have done today. And we're going to find a lung bench or lung opener or even heart opener here. So we have our main 7 chakras, although we have so many more chakras. And so we welcome our heart opening up to the heat, the love of the sun, the spring flowers, the animals coming out, the bugs, all that good stuff. And so for a lung bench or opener, you're going to take one block and you're going to have it tall and you're going to place it behind. And you're going to want to rest about the back of your head where it feels comfortable and cozy, maybe just around the neck area, on there or somewhere in between. And then you're going to have one go the long kind of sideways, and that is going to rest underneath the back, and you'll be able to tell where you feel it. And so how I like to adjust it, because you want this to be a comfortable position, no discomfort with the blocks. I like to hold the first block close to me just so that it doesn't fall over. And then you can kind of get a feeling already where the top block is, and you can adjust that underneath the head. And this is gonna almost like a supported mermaid pose, you could say. But we're allowing the feet to just rest, or the toes can be flexed towards the ceiling and sky. Arms come out to sides, and you have the support underneath your spine and your head. If you don't have blocks, another way you can do this is if you have blankets, pillows, or whatnot, and put them underneath those same areas of the body and rest. But for this one, you do have the head a bit lifted. Sometimes when we're using bolsters or pillows, it kind of takes our head and neck back, but we're focusing on the lungs, not so much the neck. So just being aware of that. And then we're just going to take a moment in this long bench, and you might feel that also kind of welcomes some energy down to those lower chakras and hips and waist. So, like I mentioned, adjust as needed, or if this is too much, you're more than welcome to take a mermaid or use the pillow or blanket for a softer addition. And once again, we're just going to breathe 5 or so breaths here. If you feel like your neck is being clenched, you could always adjust the top block. Close the eyes. Maybe welcome a smile upon the face for a gentle release for the eyelids. Find your last breath or two. Now, if this pose is really calling you and you'd like to stay here another minute or so, feel free to do so with your own timing. Otherwise, if you're ready to release, you're going to go ahead and maybe welcome your hands to the lower block that's underneath the spine so that it's sturdy. You're going to gently raise your head. You can use that then to support the body to slowly rise back up to a elongated leg and seated position. Adjust your body. We're going to welcome a staff pose once again. The shoulders are going to be away from the ears. Palms are going to be close and pressing into the mat. Fingertips are close to one another. Toes are flexed up towards ceiling and sky. Slowly rise. Find your staff pose. Then gently release. Maybe clench and unclench the hands or wiggle the fingers or even intertwine the fingers to find some release. And then you'll remove that other block. And we're going to slowly make our way down onto our full backs in the mat. So take your time, or maybe you're now releasing out of that long bench. You're going to slowly find your back. Your knees are going to come close into chest. And an option to take a little massage here on the spine by taking the legs side to side, rocking the body side to side. And maybe the knees circle away in one direction or the other. And then you're more than welcome to take any other stretches that are calling the body. Maybe it's a waterfall. Maybe the feet connect to floor and it's knees falling to one side, or the knees falling to the other side, or a full body stretch as you lengthen the legs away. Take a breath, and eventually you're going to make and find your way into a corpse pose or shavasana. So as you make your way to your corpse pose or shavasana, feel free to close the eyes or find that soft, hazy gaze, connecting with breath, inhaling, exhaling. Do what you need for self. Maybe you're still in your long bench. It's going to be such a beneficial pose. So take your time there, making your way and welcoming stillness into the body as you have and found your physical self in corpse pose shavasana. Maybe you take those last cleansing breaths, welcome awareness back to your breathing, and allow this moment and time for peace and rest and healing. It can be interesting thinking about renewal through gentle movements and connecting with breath that can also allow for a state of relaxation and rest. But moving through the asanas allows that stretch, that release of energy that was maybe stuck in the body that now has been let go of through your exhalations. And you welcome this restful space, an overwhelming sense of calm and peace over the mind and thoughts, allowing the body to sink into the mat or chair beneath you. If you did an adaptive practice today, seated, and just breathe. As you're breathing, if you allow yourself or would like to stay within your shavasana or moment of peace as long as you'd like, feel free to do so. But if you're ready to welcome awareness to your present space, feel free and allow that to happen by first allowing sound to enter into your hearing, and then allowing slow, gentle movements back to the body. Still breathing as you welcome those soft, gentle movements back to self. Maybe it starts with wiggles of limbs, fingers, or toes, movements of ankles or knees or hips and waist. If you feel any tightness or tension, breathing into that tightness and tension and exhaling it away with every exhale and release. If you are still feeling a little one way or another, you may need a realignment where you may allow the knees to fall to one side again. And then they slowly, when ready, fall to the opposite side again. No rush, no hurry. Just continuing to wake yourself and welcome yourself back to your space. If the eyes are closed, going ahead and awakening those eyes. Inhaling, exhaling. And as you welcome yourself back to this space and place, may this flow ease you into the rest of your day with light, peace, smiles, and love. Namaste. So thank you for joining me for this evening hatha. This was evening hatha for renewal. So we kind of brought a deeper awareness and focus on our breath. You can go back if you missed anything to the beginning after this post and reconnect with that alternative breathing to help us cleanse and warm the body, not only for our practice, but to welcome in the new seasons, approaching the warmer seasons, and release the dead of winter and let it go from out of our bodies now that we're welcoming that growth, that renewal, that warmth in for this season. If you have any questions about any of the poses about the lung bench, of course, we have Google, but you're always more than welcome to reach out to me and let me know what your thoughts are, what you think. I did try to reach some of the chat. I saw there were a couple of messages, so I thank you for those. Super happy to assist where I can. There it is. Oh yeah, no, thanks for being here. Definitely. Hey, Angelica, of course. So happy to be here and support you in any way. Yeah, definitely reach out. I see you getting those workouts in. This evening hatha is a great post stretch for if you're just finishing up your workout. Since we had the wonderful weather, I found myself outside enjoying exploring in the parks in nature, and I was feeling kind of stiff after too. So definitely was enjoyable to go through this stretch and guide you through flow. Yeah, thanks so much, and enjoy the rest of your day or your night or a nap or whatever it consists of next, depending on where you are and when you watch this. I will see you next time. I believe I mentioned this in an earlier class today that live classes will be starting up again. It is Earth and Yoga. Speaking of warm seasons, it is about connecting with our environment and earth around us, taking time to offer gratitude for our Mother Gaia and Earth, and stretching and flowing and just kind of wallowing in all of its goodness. So, dates and places we'll post for that from Cleveland to Columbus to Louisville. So, keep a reach out for that, stay in touch, and I hope to see you for a live class. Take care.